शोधयामि स्वधा ॐ विद्यातत्त्वं शोधयामि स्वधा ॐ शिवतत्त्वं शोधयामि स्वधा. Wash your hands. Now with the base of the right hand, wipe your lips twice and right to left along with the mantra Om Ham Hridaya Namaha. Wash your hands with an infinity of water. With the tips of your right hand, index, middle, and ring fingers joined together, touch above the upper lip and below the lower lip. Wash your hands with an infinity of water. With the tips of your right hand, index finger and thumb joined together, touch your right nostril, left nostril. With the tips of your right hand, ring finger and thumb joined together, touch your right eye, left eye, right ear, left ear. Wash your hands with an infinity of water. Now with the base of your right hand, touch your navel center, right chest, left chest. And with all 5 fingers joined together, touch the top of your head. प्रीत्यहिंसा अद्य पूर्वोक्ता एवं गुणा विशेषेण विशिष्टायाम् अस्यां सुभरितौ पूर्ण आरोग्ययुक्ता मृगगात्र यौगिकशरीरसिद्ध्यर्थं परं शिवशक्त्याविष्करणार्थं नित्यानन्दयोगाभ्यासं करिष्ये. ॐ अपौपस्पृश्य. Please wash your hands with water. You can now place your Panchapatrams and Agnis aside as we get ready to enter into the Nithyananda Yoga.
Nithyanandam, before we begin, a quick reminder. Today's yoga practice is for general wellness and education only. Please listen to your body and practice within your own limits. If you have any injuries, medical conditions, or are pregnant, please consult your healthcare professional before practicing. If at any point you feel pain, dizziness, or discomfort, gently stop and rest. Let us now enter into the asanas. Today we begin with the Tritiya Vinyasa Krama 2 series. From asanas 500. So please come to a standing position as we start with Gadvasana, the donkey pose. Stand upright with feet shoulder width apart. Bend the knees slightly, place both hands on the knees. Press the thighs and calves firmly into the ground and hold the posture. As we do this asana, we will be holding the mudra, Leliha mudra, extending and gently move the tongue downward while the fist rests at the side. And we are going to do the Kumbhaka, Jivachala Kumbhaka. One forcefully moves the retained prana through all the limbs of the body in upward and downward direction along with the mind, and holding the Uddiyana Bandha by drawing the abdomen inward toward the spine. Then lift it upwards. Visualize yourself as a humble, steadfast donkey. As you chant the japa, Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
Badbhasana. Jangor Ubhyam Dharam Vidyas Viditayo Vijanana Janu Parikaram Yudvam Tadvasana Muchyate.
Now we move on to Dhanurasana Trini, bow pose 3. So come to a seated position with both legs extended. Hold on to the opposite toes and pull your right leg towards the left ear as you hold on to the left toe with your right hand. Hold the Prana Mudra, gently focusing the inner awareness through the eyes, soft and steady, maintaining alertness without tension. And Pratyahara Kumbhaka, withdraw the senses inward, then move the awareness sequentially through the 9 points, soles of the feet, perineum, navel, heart, chest, throat, base of the throat, between the eyebrows and forehead. As you hold the Mula Bandha by contracting the muscles of the pelvic floor, visualize yourself as a bow coiled with tension yet perfectly aligned. As you chant the japa, Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
Dhanurasana. पादाङ्गुष्ठौ तु पाणिभ्यां गृहीत्वा सवनावधि धनुराकर्षणं कृत्वा धनुरासनमुच्यते.
Now we move on to Virasana Chatvaru. Just releasing the left leg or the right leg that you are holding onto the thighs and bringing your hands together in front of your abdomen. In front, place your hands gently over your lap for support, keeping your chest lifted and your spine long. Hold the Shambhavi Mudra, keeping the eyes open and steady gaze. Pratyahara Kumbhaka, inhaling deeply and hold your breath while withdrawing the senses. Bring your attention inward as you hold as long as comfortable. Clench your perineum and Mula Bandha. Chant the japa Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham as you visualize yourself with heroic steadiness, sitting with dignity and calm focus.
वीरासना. द्विगुणं परितं पादं वामं दक्षिणमुत्थितं कृत्वान्योन्यस्तनं तु विपरीतं तदुच्यते.
Now we move on to Ekapadasana Dve, 1 foot pose 2. Now keep your left leg extended as you fold your right leg and bring the foot behind your shoulders. And hold the Namaskara Mudra with your hands. Pratyahara Kumbhaka with your breath, inhaling deeply and hold your breath while withdrawing the senses. And clench your perineum in Mula Bandha and chant the japa Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham as you visualize yourself balanced on 1 foot, rooted yet poised for movement.
एकपादासना. एकपादं मतो कण्ठे उत्थापितं च दण्डवत् करौ सन्तुलितौ कृत्वा एकपादं तदुच्यते.
Next, we move on to Dakshina Pada Shirshasana. Just fold your extended leg and bring it towards the perineum as you continue to keep your right leg behind your shoulder and hands in Namaskara Mudra. As you visualize yourself inverted on 1 foot, head grounded, body aligned and alert.
दक्षिणपादशीर्षासना. बेसिने बमने पकमाथा उपरलावा दाखिलपाच भगपाद परचादवागा ने हाथ जोड़ी ने स्तुति कर बीते द्विपाद शीर्षासन कहे वायसे.
Now we move on to Ekapada Mayurasana. Come onto your hands with palms pressed firmly to the floor, fingers pointing backward towards your body. Draw your elbows towards your navel and slowly lean forward, lifting your chest and extending your legs off the ground as you balance horizontally like a peacock. Bring your right leg over the top of your head. Keep your breath even, chest strong. Hold the Shambhavi Mudra, Pratyahara Kumbhaka, Mula Bandha, Japa Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham, visualizing yourself as a peacock balanced on 1 foot.
एकपादमयूरासना. हरति सकलो रागान् आशुगुल्मोदरायदिन् अभिभवति दोषान् आसनं श्रीमयूरं बहु दशानुभुक्तं भस्मकुर्याद्विचित्तं जनयति जठराग्निं जीयते कालकुट्टम्.
Slowly come down as you move on to the next asana. Supta Trivikramasana, supine three-step pose. Now with your right leg behind your neck, slowly lean back. Bring your right foot behind your neck for seated position. Slowly lean back on the floor as you hold your right foot with your right hand behind the shoulders as you extend the left leg in front of you and the left arm by your side. Hold the Shambhavi Mudra, Pratyahara Kumbhaka, Mula Bandha Japa, Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham as you visualize yourself as a cosmic Trikrama triangle with angle rooted in earth, another reaching towards the heavens, and the third angle piercing your very soul.
Supta Trivikramasana. Uddanakurvam Pitham Cha Sinham Garudamev Cha Vatalinam Gomukham Cha Bharadvajam Trivikramam.
Remaining in the same position, now bring your hands, both hands, along the length of the body. As you hold the Shambhavi Mudra, Pratyahara Kumbhaka, Mula Bandha Japa, Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. As we move on to Vyagrasana, the tiger pose, visualizing yourself as a tiger, coiled and ready to spring.
Vyagrasanamato Vakshetrodakala Vinashanam Ekapadam Shirsa Madhye Merudandopari Sthitam.
Now we move on to Paryankasana. Fold both knees and bring towards your chest as you hug them and wrap your arms around your knees. Hold the Shambhavi Mudra, Pratyahara Kumbhaka, Mula Bandha Japa, Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham, visualizing yourself as a couch, steady and supportive, carrying the weight of the world with ease.
Paryankasana. Janu Prasarita Baho Shayanam Paryankasanam Kraunchas Spragajagat Upavesam Kraunchadasanam Asyate Upavishyate Atrahi Bhave Pratyayo Bhodyaha.
Now slowly come up to a seated position as we move on to Vashishtasana, the way Sage Vashishta's pose 2. Sit tall with the soles of the feet pressed together. Slide your arms under your legs and press upward so the feet lift higher towards your forehead. Hold firmly around your feet as if a crow perched on a branch. Lift your chest, keep your spine long as you hold the Namaskara Mudra, Pratyahara Kumbhaka, Mula Bandha Japa, Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham, visualizing yourself as Sage Vashishta, radiating wisdom and unshakable clarity.
Vashishtasana. Dahu Pagadari Joy Samputikare Hadahu Pagabitane Tale Kari Barela Yakakya Mahini Sangirake Pajedo Hatisi Kari Pagaunche Katisi Parirake Pagalata Muri Gyulagave Vishtinasa Agra Asana Kogana Pavana Samahita Holi.
Remain in the same position as we move on to Shivalingasana. Sitting steady on the mat, bring both feet upward to rest over your head against the back side of your neck. Join your palms at your chest, spine lengthened and steady. Hold the Shambhavi Mudra, Pratyahara Kumbhaka, Mula Bandha Japa, Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham as you visualize yourself as a sacred Shivalinga, the eternal symbol of Paramashiva's formless essence.
Shivalingasana. Dahu Pavasi Chapati Ane Punike Kajipati Aratana Thani. Dahu Pagake Angush Joy Tinapari Mutikari Dahu Tala Upri Hare Jo Ana Bhupari Rahe Volake Pani Nasa Agya Drishti Daharabe Sakalaro Ganati Kopave.
Next, we move on to Kakarupa Skandasana, the way crow form shoulder pose 2. So, remaining with his feet behind your shoulders, cross your ankles behind your back to secure your feet in position. Place your palms on the floor at your sides. Lift your chest upright and balance here, breathing smoothly. As you hold the Shambhavi Mudra, Pratyahara Kumbhaka Mula Bandha, Japa Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham, visualizing yourself as an owl perched silently on a branch, eyes piercing the night with clear perception.
काकरूपस्कन्धासना अथवा चेकाकरूपस्कन्धासनमुत्तमं कलिपापत्रमुच्येत वायुभीमस्माने निजपादद्वयं धृत्वा स्कन्धदेशेति साधुका नित्यमेतद्वदद्वन्द्वं भूमौ पुष्टिकरद्वयम्.
Now we move on to Aranya Chatakasana. Remaining with the feet crossed behind your shoulders, as we move on to Forest Sparrow Rose, bring your hands in front of you, placing on the floor. Place your palms beside your hips for a solid base. Chest lifted, spine long as you hold the Shambhavi Mudra, Pratyahara Kumbhaka Mula Bandha Japa Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Visualizing yourself as a bird in a forest, agile and free, navigating through the branches with grace.
आरण्य चटकासना एके दपादि अवस्तभ्य अन्यपादतले नवनु अवस्तभ्य तिष्ठेत् आस्तेति पुनः पुनः कर्तव्यम् अर्धचन्द्रं भवति.
Next, we move on to Chitrakasana, the beautiful pose with the feet behind your shoulders. Raise your left arm up and bring the right hand to the left side of your neck, placing it on the shoulder. Hold the Shambhavi Mudra, Pratyahara Kumbhaka, inhaling deeply and holding the breath while withdrawing your senses. Clench your perineum in Mula Bandha, chant the Japa Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Visualize painting your reality, each stroke manifesting intention into form.
प्रथमा पगति संपुटकरे पुरहल्पति ऐसे विस्तरे दायिक भूमि माहिनी संगा तापरिदो एवि बंदा.
Now repeat the Chitrakasana on the other side by raising the right arm up and placing the left hand on the right shoulder.
प्रथमा पगति संपुटकरे पुरहल्पति दायिक भूमि माहिनी संगा तापरिदो एवि बंदा.
Now we move on to Panindrasana, Cobra King pose, with both feet behind your shoulders, ankles crossed. Place both hands on the floor in front of you. Keeping your spine tall, your head lifted and your gaze soft towards the space between your brows. Hold the Shambhavi Mudra, Pratyahara Kumbhaka Mula Bandha Japa Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham, visualizing yourself as the Cobra King, poised and majestic.
प्रथमा पगति संपुटकरे पुनः एक जुड़ती ऐसे विस्तरे दायिक भूमि माहिनी संगा तापरिदो एवि बंदा.
Now, remaining in the same position, we move on to Pasini Mudrasana, bound mudra pose. Sit and draw both your feet carefully behind the head so they rest at your throat like a noose. Place your palms to the floor for balance. Chest upright and chin lifted softly. Hold the Shambhavi Mudra, Pratyahara Kumbhaka, Mula Bandha, Japa Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Visualizing yourself bound by a noose of integrity, holding emotions aligned with purpose and action.
पाशिनी मुद्रासना कंठपिष्ठेषु पादौ पार्श्वभद्रं सा एव पाशिनी मुद्रा शक्तिप्रबोधकारिणी.
Relax. Come into Padmasana by placing the right foot on the left thigh and left foot on the right thigh. Holding on to the toes, lean forward and bring your forehead to the floor. Hold the Vaishnavi Mudra with the inner focus and outer vision free from blinking or opening the eyes. Hold the Ujjayi Kumbhaka, lightly contracting the throat and draw the breath slowly in through the nostrils, producing the sound of the ocean. Clench your perineum in Mula Bandha, chant the Japa Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Visualize yourself as Matsyendra, but deeper embodying unfathomable depth in the turning inward.
Machandra Matsyendranath Pradhamajimanocharan Jujori Vamajan Kabira Kesori Tatari Edi Kadisulave Gaburi Yahwa Tarave.
So in this asana, you'll actually lean forward. You can hold on to the to the toes in front. You don't have to cross your arms. And lean forward as you bring the forehead to the floor. Now slowly come up as we move on to Dvipada Shirshasana. Once again, this is a 2-foot headstand pose. You will bring both shoulders both feet behind your shoulders as you cross the ankles behind. Both legs are behind your head. As you hold the Namaskara Mudra, Pratyahara Kumbhaka Mula Bandha Japa Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Visualize yourself as a living conduit of cosmic energy, feet resting above the head, hands grounding the earth.
Dvipada Shirshasana Besini Bamne Pagamadhu Upuralavi Dakana Pachalya Bhava Parachada Bhava Nehad Jodi Ne Sudhikala Vide Dvipada Shirshasana Kavya
Next, we move on to Bharatariasana, continuing to remain with the feet behind your head. Now, this time, the feet are pressed together. Instead of crossing the ankles, feet are pressed together. Take a firm grip of the toes, lifting your feet upward. Straighten your spine tall, chest open, and gaze softly along your nose line. Hold the Shambhavi Mudra Pratyahara Kumbhaka Mula Bandha Japa Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham, visualizing the Shakti of Mahima flowing through you, making your body heavy yet rooted, stable, and immovable.
Bharatariasana आसन गोपी चंद कत्यो जैसे गाहु कुकीले पुनीते से गोरपक दरिया की मांगी सिर आगी में बहुमी ये आसन की कीते मूल बंद लग जाया.
Now slowly lean back on the floor, laying on the floor, bringing both feet behind and above your head, holding your ankles as they move towards the ground behind your head. Press your palms firmly and keep your chest open and gaze steady. Hold the Shambhavi Mudra Pratyahara Kumbhaka Mula Bandha Japa Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Visualize all gods and goddesses showering their blessings upon you.
मत्स्यासना प्रथमे सूर्य सैन्य करावे वामपाद कांध परिधारे तावरी दक्षिण पग ओ आने गौ हस्त ऐसे विधिधाने तरसो लगीवा नीचे धारे भूपति सुधार हस्त पसारे नासा अग्र दृष्टि दहरावे जाते नो विनाश सब पावे.
Now we move on to Mrittika Banjikasana, Earth Breaker Pose. So having both feet behind your head, hold on to the respective toes and keep your legs steady. Place your palms outside your feet, interlocking your hands for support. Hold the Shambhavi Mudra Pratyahara Kumbhaka Mula Bandha Japa Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham as to visualize yourself as a small yet mighty plant breaking through the dirt, emerging into vibrant reality.
सप्तचक्रोच्चालनाय शासनविशेषतान् जननेन्द्रियाध्याय कोणभेदान् समभ्यसेत्.
Remaining in the same position, cross your ankles behind your head and wrap your arms behind your back. Holding Shambhavi Mudra Pratyahara Kumbhaka Mula Bandha Japa Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Visualize an abundance of gold cascading over you, filling your being with prosperity.
पूर्णतां चतुष्पादं पीठं वज्रासनं तथा चकोरकं च शलभाभुजङ्गमपि विस्तृतम्.
Now we move on to Purvatanasana. So relax, bring your feet onto the floor, extend your body, lay on your back and place your palms on the ground beside you. Press into the feet and hands, lifting your pelvic and chest upward into a smooth bridge. Keep your arms long and your shoulders rooted. Breath calm. Holding the Shambhavi Mudra. This time the breath is Sahaja Kumbhaka. Inhaling deeply through the nose, hold the breath comfortably, then release through the nose. As you clench the perineum in Mula Bandha, Japa Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham, visualizing the eastern side of your body stretching and opening and awakening the subtle energies associated with the rising sun and beginnings.
पूर्वतानासना पूर्वतानं च द्विस्पादं दीर्घं वज्रासनं तथा चकोरक्रमं च शलभाभुजङ्गमपि विस्तृतम्.
Next, we move on to Urdhva Konasana, upward angle pose. So this is an inverted posture. So women in monthly cycle, please avoid doing the inverted asanas. So in this asana, you will raise your feet, your legs, your hips, and support your lower back with your hands. So your whole body is vertically up as you are resting your weight on your shoulders. And make a V shape, wide V shape with your legs into Urdhva Konasana.
सप्तचक्रक्षालनाय वृक्षासनविशेषतान् जननेन्द्रियाध्याय कोनभेदान् समभ्यसेत्.
Slowly come down as we move on to Utthana Padasana Dve. So lay on your back, extend your legs up into a diagonal as you press through the crown of your head. Palms face back along the ground. So both your arms are also raised into a diagonal. Feet are raised, legs raised in a diagonal. Hold the Shambhavi Mudra Sahaja Kumbhaka Mula Bandha. Visualize your extended foot reaching, fully elongating muscles, nerves, and subtle channels.
उत्तानपादासना सप्तचक्रक्षालनाय वृक्षासनविशेषतान् जननेन्द्रियाध्याय कोनभेदान् समभ्यसेत्.
Now we move on to Setu Bandhasana, bridge pose. So your entire weight of your body is on your feet and the crown of your head. As you raise your knees, your hips, your shoulders, your chest above the ground into a arched bridge in Setu Bandhasana, holding Shambhavi Mudra Sahaja Kumbhaka Mula Bandha. Japa Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham, visualizing yourself forming a bridge.
सेतुबन्धासना वासिष्ठमतकौण्डिन्यम् उद्धकुक्कुटमेव च अष्टावक्रमदोद्धानं मयूरं सेतुबन्धनम् उत्तानपादं क्रौञ्चं च मरीचिं वीरभद्रकं तदराजं त्रिकोणं च सुप्ताङ्गष्ठप्रसारणे.
Next, we move on to Chakrasana Trini, the wheel pose 3. Lay back, bend your knees, place your feet close to your hips, press your hands down beside the shoulders, fingers pointing towards the feet. Inhale, press strongly, lifting hips, chest, and belly upward in a full circle. As you hold the Shambhavi Mudra Sahaja Kumbhaka Mula Bandha Japa Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham, visualize your body arching into a wheel pose, energy radiating through the spine and limbs.
चक्रासना बेहात्मी अंगलोठी पेपगनम अंगली पकादीने सर्वं ते चक्रासन कहे वायचे.
Now bringing your feet closer, your arms, walk your hands towards your feet. As you intensify this asana, we move into Petaputi Asana. From Chakrasana, just walk your hands more close towards your feet.
Pretaputi asana. Asana Kaugana Pan Apanaki Gandhi Chute Jalandhara Bandalage.
Relax as we move on to Vichitra Karani, the wondrous action. So now, laying on your back, lift your feet and bring it towards above and over your head, and hold on to your feet with both hands. As you hold this, Shambhavi Mudra, Sahaja Kumbhaka, Mula Bandha Japa, Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Visualize yourself performing wondrous action, each movement infused with intention, precision, and divine resonance.
Vichitra Karini. शयितपश्चिमतानस्ते हस्तौ तत्र प्रसारयेत् पादौ दण्डसमौ कृत्वा विचित्रकरणी भवेत्.
Relax, extend your feet in front of you as we move on to Pashasana Dve, loose pose 2. So in a supine position with your lower back and back of the thighs flat on the ground, keep your feet together, core engaged, keep your hands to either side of the respective thighs. Engage your abdominal muscles, raising your chest up, lifting your upper body off the ground. Simultaneously, bend one elbow and bring the hand towards your nose. Squeeze your stomach, engaging your core further, and slowly release. Release the hand back to the respective thigh, lowering the upper back down onto the ground. Holding Shambhavi Mudra, Sahaja Kumbhaka, Mula Bandha Japa, Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Visualize yourself as a hatchet being thrown, cutting through the obstacles with precision and force.
पाशासना. पादतले भूमौ विधाय जाह्नवीरसि विधाय विपरीतहस्ताभ्याम् ऊर्सहितजङ्घे निबध्य तिष्ठेत् पाशासनं भवति.
Devismarana, the feet are legs extended. The legs are extended on the mat, chest lifted. No, feet extended, completely laying on the floor, knees on the ground. Your hips also on the ground. Just lift your chest up, your neck up. The crown of the head also is up, it's not on the ground. Yes, now just bring the one hand towards the nose. The elbows are not touching the floor. Yeah. Okay, now let us move on to Dakshinasana, southern facing pose. As you completely lay on your side, resting on your elbow, placing the other arm on the side of your body. Visualize yourself as Dakshina Murti, serene and wise, seated in stillness.
Dakshinasana. Jayarjuna Dakshinange Namaste Dhoni sa Daksham Hastam च वामं तु जङ्घपृष्ठे ततो जपेत् सम्प्रयाते रजासुको दुःस्वप्नं दीर्घपातनं पञ्चशक्ति रग्निस्तु वर्धते दक्षिणासनै.
Now we move on to Shalabhasana Dve, locust pose 2. So now laying on your belly, raise your feet, raise your chest above the ground, arms by your side, palm facing down. As you raise your thighs and your legs off the ground, as you hold the Shambhavi Mudra, Jivachala Kumbhaka, inhaling prana, then using the power of your mind forcefully directed through all the limbs of the body, moving both upward and downward. Hold the Mula Bandha Japa Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Visualize yourself as a locust.
Kalabhasana. पूर्वतानं चतुष्पादं पीतं वज्रासनं तथा चकोरक्रं च शलभाभुजङ्गमभिवृष्टिकम्.
Now bend your legs behind you. Bring your feet towards your buttocks as you press them down, and with your arms behind, elbows raised, chest up as we move on to Bekasana. Holding Shambhavi Mudra Jivachala Kumbhaka Mula Bandha Japa Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Visualize yourself as a frog, alert and grounded.
Bekasana. Bakam Bekasanam Chaiva Balam Matsyanamakam Matsyendram Vindam Chatra Kundali Bhudakaranam.
Now we move on to Berundasana. Remaining in the same position, extend your left leg up, holding with your left hand. Press your right foot onto your buttocks with your right hand, keeping your chest lifted. We move on to Berundasana.
Talabhasana Bhedascha Nataverunda Namake Gandaverunda Sahite Shishwarandasanam Tatha.
Now repeat Berundasana on the other side, pressing the left foot. Yes.
Shalabhasana Bhedascha Nataverunda Namake Gandaverunda Sahite Shishwarandasanam Tatha.
Now slowly come to a seated position as we move on to Vajrasana Pancha Thunderbolt 5. Placing the palms on the respective thighs. Shambhavi Mudra, Apakarsha Kumbhaka, partially closing the nose and doing the Recha Puraka is Apakarsha Kumbhaka. Hold the Mula Bandha, Japa Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Visualize yourself steadfast, grounded and indestructible.
Vajrasana. Vajrasana Muktasana Shasasana Natije Lahodoha Kare Pratma Chitvani Gurute.
Next, we move on to Shulasana. Laying on your belly, raise your legs up, knees on the ground, elbows resting on the ground, and rest your chin between your palms. Holding the Shambhavi Mudra, Jivachala Kumbhaka Mula Bandha, visualize yourself as a spear, focused and unwavering, piercing through the obstacles.
Stulasana. Purparaabhyam Avinam Avastambhya Hastatalabhyam Hanum Avastambhya Uttishte Shulasanam Bhavati.
From here, we move on to Makarasana. Rest your face down, legs stretched long behind you, and toes pressing into the mat. Extend both arms front alongside your head, and then bend the elbows slightly so your chin rests into your palms. Allow your chest to broaden subtly, your spine to lengthen, and gravity itself to cradle you.
Makarasana. Umdasvinge Bannehata Mathani Bane Bhanitai Adalya Jalite Namba Parava Netena Pamja Uparana Bhagamun Adelani Niche Tarakava.
Now we move on to Ghanta Berundasana. Settle prone with your chin pressing gently to the ground and palms close beside your chest. As you breathe in, raise both legs straight and strong upward. Bend the knees with care, guiding the toes towards the ground. Keep your chest broad, breath steady, gaze composed. Hold the Shambhavi Mudra Jivachala Kumbhaka Mula Bandha Japa Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Visualize yourself as a leader of a hyena pack, commanding respect and coordinating with intelligence.
Gandaberundasana. Shalabhasana Bhedascha Nataberunda Namake Gandaberunda Sahite Shishwarandasanam Tatha.
Relax. Now we move on to the next asana, Ganda Bhairundasana Dve. This time, instead of the palms by your chest, you'll extend the arms on the floor. As you hold Shambhavi Mudra, Jivachala Kumbhaka, visualize yourself as a steady four-limbed wooden staff, grounded and reliable.
Talabhajana Bhedasya Nataberund Namake Ganda Berund Sanveshi Shadandasanam Tatha.
Now we move on to the next asana, Ganda Berundasana Trini, intense two-headed bird pose. So now, instead of the feet resting on the head, you will bring the feet in front of your face, touching the floor in Ganda Berundasana Trini.
Talabhajana Bhedasya Nataberund Namake Ganda Berund Sanveshi Shadandasanam Tatha.
Now we move on to Viparita Shalabhasana Dve, inverted locust pose. 2. Lay prone, body extended, chin steady upon the mat, arms beside the chest pressing against the earth. Inhale and extend your legs in a vertical arch upward, hinging at the hips so the toes reach back your overhead. Sweep your arms behind your torso, chest broadening as the power gathers. Hold the Shambhavi Mudra, Jivachala Kumbhaka. Visualize yourself as a locust, resilient and adaptable.
Viparita Talabhasana Talabhasana Bhedasya Nataberund Namake Ganda Berund Sanveshi Shadandasanam Tatha.
Relax. Now we move on to Chaturanga Dandasana, four-limb staff pose. So slowly come down. As we move on to this asana, begin prone, palms beneath your shoulders, toes curled into the earth. Draw in your breath and on an exhale, lower your chest until it hovers close above the mat. Shambhavi Mudra, Jivachala Kumbhaka, Mulabandha, Japa Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Visualize yourself as a steady four-limbed wooden staff.
Chaturanga Dandasana Viparitam Mandalam Cha Videhaviditam Hinaha Dandasanam Vidakrotam Viparitopa Sarvangi Shirsha Bhagastu Shakshashti Prititastu Te.
Now we move on to Niranjana Karmasana. So sitting on your heels, now slowly raise your hip up as you lean forward, bringing the elbows in front of your knees and your face towards the floor, and hovering, placing both palms gently over the ears and settling your gaze inward. Draw the navel back as you breathe firmly upward through the belly. Holding Shambhavi Mudra, Jivachala Kumbhaka, Udhyana Bandha, Japa Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Visualize yourself in stainless pose, untouched by karma.
Niranjana Karmasana Balako Garbhashayanam Tishket Samkuchito Yatha Tatha Garbhasane Yogi Niranjana Vidham Bhaje.
Now we move on to Dhanda Mayurasana, staff peacock pose. Sit on your knees. Place your palms flat on the floor behind you and with your fingers pointing back. Draw your elbows together, then pressing firmly at your navel center. Lift your whole body off the ground into a balance parallel like a staff. Holding the Shambhavi Mudra, Jivachala Kumbhaka Uddiyana Bandha Japa Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. As you visualize yourself as a peacock.
मयूरासनवत् संस्थाप्य एकेन हस्तेन एकस्य हस्तमणिबन्धं धारयेत् पङ्गमयूरं भवति.
Next is Pangu Mayurasana, lame peacock pose. Repeating Mayurasana, but this time you are resting your entire weight on one hand as you extend the opposite hand by your side along the by your head. As you hold, Shambhavi Mudra, Jivachala Kumbhaka, Mula Bandha Japa, Om Nithyananda Parama Shivoham, visualizing yourself as a peacock.
पङ्गमयूरासना. मयूरासनवत् संस्थाप्य एकेन हस्तेन हस्तस्य मणिबन्धं धारयेत् पङ्गमयूरं भवति.
Now repeat the Pangu Mayurasana on the other side. Pangu Mayurasana, Parshvantre.
मयूरासनवत् संस्थाप्य एकेन हस्तेन हस्तस्य मणिबन्धं धारयेत् पङ्गमयूरं भवति.
Now we move on to Jnanasana, wisdom pose. So come to a seated position. Sit on the ground and draw your left foot firmly into the root of your thigh. Extend the right leg back along the floor at the hip outer edge. Sit tall with the spine erect and chest wide. Shambhavi Mudra, Samakumbhaka. Without exhaling, contracting the muscles of the pelvic floor, tightening the chin to the chest and draw the upper Saraswati flowing through your awareness as you chant the japa Om Nithyananda Parama Shivoham.
Jnanasana. अथान्यादासनं कृत्वा सर्वव्याधिनिवारणं योगाभ्यासी भवेत् कृत्यं ज्ञानासनप्रसादतः.
Now we move on to Kubjikasana. Sit with your right heel close beneath your outer hip. Lift your left foot upward, guiding it into the hollow of your left armpit. Keep your chest open, spine strong, shoulders easy. As you hold the Shambhavi Mudra Samakumbhaka Mula Bandha Japa Om Nithyananda Parama Shivoham. Visualize Kubjika, coiled and hidden, embodying the dynamic power of Kundalini energy.
Kubjikasana. अथ जठराग्नि सन्दीपनं गुल्बं क्लीहसूरधरं कुब्जिकासनं किञ्चित् तिर्यक्शक्तिम् आस्थाप्य जानुम् ऊर्ध्वं धृत्वा.
Now we move on to Bharadvajasana. Sit firmly, ground your right foot beside your hip, place your left foot top of your right thigh. Wrap your left arm behind you to grasp the left toes while your right arm rests on the outer thigh. Turn your chest upward and outward, lifting tall through the spine. Shambhavi Mudra Samakumbhaka Mula Bandha. Visualize Lord Kartikeya, ruler of Mars, radiant, fierce, and unwavering in purpose.
भरद्वाजासना. उत्तानकूर्मं पीठं च सिंहं गारुडमेव च वातायनं गोमुखं च भारद्वाजं त्रिविक्रमम्.
Move on to Asana Pancham. You place your foot back your point in the hand tall. Bring hand in the and sleeve. Both hands above your head, interlacing the fins of your hum. Sit with the left foot top right thigh and firmly plant your right sole around the heel opposite. Begin to swing also gently towards the raised knee, spine tall, lifted, hook your arm across your while the arm reaches behind. Holding the Shambhavi Mudra, Samula Bandha, Japa Om Nithyananda Yoga. Embody the great sage and yogi Matsyendranath, founder of Yoga.
Bandhendrasana. Matsyendrapiyam Chadara Pranitham Rachandaramandala Khayastram अभ्यासतः कुण्डलिनी प्रबोधं दण्डस्थिरत्वं निरुदादिपुंसां पार्श्वाभ्यां धारयेद्यस्तु पार्श्वस्तेन्द्रवृत्तमं करेण भद्रये तत्तु भद्रमस्तेन्द्रासनम्.
Now we are going to repeat the sequence of asanas on the other side, starting with Jnanasana. Sit on the ground, draw your left foot firmly into the root or into your right thigh. Hips and the left foot behind you by the outside of the hip, holding the Shambhavi Mudra, Samakumbhaka Mahamudra Bandha, contracting the muscles of the pelvic floor, bringing the chin to the chest and lifting the abdomen inward and up. As you visualize embody the wisdom, clarity, and creative intelligence of Devi Saraswati, and placing both palms on the respective knees.
ज्ञानासना अथान्यानासनं कृत्वा सर्वव्याधिनिवारणं योगाभ्यासी भवेत् क्षिप्रं ज्ञानासनप्रसादतः.
From here we move on to Kubjikasana, bringing the right foot onto the right armpit, holding Shambhavi Mudra, Samakumbhaka Mulabandha Japa Om Nithyananda Yoga, becoming bravery itself.
कुब्जिकासना अथ जठराग्नि सन्धिफलं गुल्पं प्रेमशूलधरं कुब्जिकासनं किञ्चित् तिर्यत् शक्तिम् आस्थाप्य जानुमूर्ध्वं कृत्वा.
Now we move on to Bharadvajasana. Sit firmly and ground your right foot beside your hip. Place your left foot top of your right thigh. So basically we are going to repeat this asana like what we did previous time. This time placing the right foot on top of the left thigh. And your left leg is behind you. Wrap your right hand behind you to hold on to the right toes. And your left hand lays on the left knee. Hold the Shambhavi Mudra, Samakumbhaka, Mulabandha, Japa Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
वीरासना एकं पादमथैकस्मिन् विन्यस्य दूरसंस्थितं यदिरस्मिन् तथा पश्चात् वीरासनमिति ईरितम्.
Next, we move on to Virasana Pancha. Sit on the floor with the knees bent and folded beneath you. Place your right foot back so here with the left foot back behind, placing the right leg to bring it towards your abdomen, palms on the respective knees.
एकं पादमध्ये तस्मिन् विन्यस्य दूरसंस्थितं यदिरस्मिन् तथा पश्चात् वीरासनमिति ईरितम्.
Now try to bring your right foot towards your abdomen as you bring both hands up above your head, interlacing the fingers as we move on to Bairu Asana, great fierce pose 2, embodying leadership, strength, and alertness.
भैरवासनाद्वे मूलद्वारिकबेसितधारे वामपादम् अंधुकरे एदि अग्रगदाधरि धरे ऊर्ध्वचित्ति अंगुष्ठकरि करे.
Now we move on to Padma Matsyendrasana. Now, keeping your right foot top of your left thigh, place the left foot outside of the right knee as you twist your body towards your left, wrapping your hand around. Try to clasp your fingers together as we move on to Baddha Matsyendrasana. Baddha Matsyendrasana.
ओहो मलिन नास्ये शिवाजीवैक्यता भवेत् इति निरञ्जनकर्मासनम्.
Relax. Now bring your both feet in front of you, holding on to them with the respective hands as we move on to Baddha Konasana. Holding the hands in interlacing the fingers in Parashamudra, Brit Samakumbhaka, Japa Mula Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham as you clench your perineum in Mula Bandha. Visualize yourself in bound angle pose, seated with openness and grounded stability.
बद्धकोणासना पाशं ब्राह्मं तथा सिद्धं स्वस्तिकं वामनासनं बद्धकोणं बद्धपीठं मूलबन्धं तथैव च.
Next we move on to Bhadrasana Chatwari. Hold the feet firmly with your fingers and thumbs, keeping the toes straight. So continue to remain seated in the same position as you visualize yourself radiating serenity and divine alignment. Feel every cell harmonizing with inner and outer awareness.
विष्णानि नीचे शिवानी ना दाबा भागमं दाबा पगनी एज पगने उलटा वीने राघवी आने शिवानी ना जमन भागमं जमन पगनी एज पगाने उलटा वीने राघवी.
Now we move on to Yonyasana. Sit with the knees bent and soles of the feet joined beneath your body near the perineum. Hold the feet strong, chest lifted, and spine straight. Hold the Shambhavi Mudra, Samakumbhaka, Mula Bandha, Japa Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Visualizing, curl inward into the womb forming pose, sinking deeply into a sacred stillness.
योन्यासना पादौ सम्मिल्य पादाग्रे अधरे पार्श्वलिङ्गदा आनीय पादतलयो संविशेत् योन्यासनं भवति.
Remain in the same position as we move on to Gorakshasana Bhadrasana. Fierce pose, fierce eye, blessed pose. Sit with the heels pressed right beneath the base of the spine, soles turned upward. Grip the feet firmly, body upright, chest open, the hands resting on the respective knees. Embody the power of Sage Goraksha in fierce eye pose as you continue to hold the Shambhavi Mudra, Samakumbhaka, this time holding Mahamudra Bandha, clenching the muscles of the perineum, tucking the chin to the chest and drawing the abdomen inward and up as you chant the japa Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
गोरक्षासन भद्रासना वृष्णानि नीचे शिवानी ना दबा भगवं दबा पगनी एदि पगाने कुलता वीने राघवी आने शिवानी ना जमन भगवं जमन पगनी एदि पगने कुलता वीने राघवी.
Now, remaining in the same position, we are moving on to Kama Dahanasana, desire burner pose. This time, instead of the hands resting on the knees, bring your hands behind you to hold on to the toes. And the bandha is Mula Bandha, visualizing embody the energy of desire burner pose, feeling an inner fire awakening and consuming all distractions.
कामदहनासना भद्रासनं सुखं स्थाप्य विपरीते तु द्वेपदे अनेन यदि कुर्यात् तत् कामदहनं भवेत्.
Next, we move on to Supta Baddha Konasana. So come to a seated position, feet in front of you. As you sit upright, bring soles together near the pelvis and then recline back slowly onto the ground. Let the knees open wide, shoulders relaxed, arms resting softly, gaze inward, breathe deep and smooth as the body opens gently. So lay on the ground, feet are together, knees wide open as you lay on the floor. Supta Baddha Konasana, forming a triangle with your legs but laying down.
आशं ब्रह्मं तथा सिद्धं सत्विकं वामनासनं भद्रकोणं भद्रपीठं मूलभद्रं तदैव च
Slowly come up as we move on to Bekasana Dve, the frog pose 2. This time bringing the feet in front of you and the elbows rested on the feet and hands, your face, your chin resting on your hands.
Bekasanaद्वे ध्यायेत् नीचित्पदं भ्रान्तम् आसनस्थसुखाय च यदि सर्वाङ्गमुत्तोल्य गगने चरासनं महाभेकासनं प्रोक्तं सर्वसिद्धिप्रदायकं महाविद्यं महामन्त्रं प्राप्नोति जपति धिया
Now we move on to Vagasana Dve. Sit cross-legged, folds with the feet in front of you, feet facing each other. Rest the palms on the respective knees. In the divine pose 2, as you hold the Shambhavi Mudra, Samakumbhaka Mula Bandha Japa Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham, feeling yourself radiating sacred presence and inner alignment.
पगोल मोरी बैसे पगा कमागिल कुल पास्त लगावे पजे पजे पगथिल्या कामचाला हाथस्यो मोरी जद प्रति काहि आई पगतरी पीछे लगावे.
Next, we move on to Siddhi Jivi Asana, perfection living pose. So sit with the heels drawn close beneath your body, soles together near the pelvis. Let the toes turn slightly upward while the heels remain grounded. Place your hands gently on the knees, keeping the spine long and upright. Visualize yourself as living the life of a perfected yogi. This time, holding the Udhyana Bandha by drawing the abdomen inward towards the spine and then lifting up as you chant the Japa Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Now we move on to Pani Patrasana. Hand whistle pose. So bringing the feet together in front of your abdomen, placing the palms in Namaskara Mudra, holding onto the feet. As you visualize yourself as a source of water flowing freely and nourishing all life. This time we will be holding the Mula Bandha as we chant the Japa Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
Pani Patrasana. नाभौ संस्थाप्य गुरुभौ च तन्मध्ये करपात्रदं शनैर्यत्नेन पूर्वीता पाणिपात्रं तदुच्यते.
Next we move on to Sapta Rishi Asana. Sit folding the feet close, each sole turning upward towards the armpit. Interlace the fingers and rest the hands. Interlace the fingers behind your head. As you hold the Shambhavi Mudra, Samakumbhaka Mula Bandha, Japa Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham, visualizing yourself as one of the 7 Saptarishis, wise and eternal.
सप्तऋषियासना गौ पगे पदधरे दीनके नाम तजसोय गौ कांकरी में धारे नासा दृष्टि समोन्य बहु बहरो हस्तकांक्षे करे सोले आरसील परितारे दिन प्राति दिना भेद सद्धि आवे सप्तऋषि तो नाम कहावे।
Relax. Now we move on to the next asana, Suktyasana, shell pose. Come to a kneeling position. Sit with the heels gathered into the ground, knees bent wide, ankles in contact. Place your hands to rest. So come to a kneeling position. Bring the palms together in Namaskara Mudra and feet raised above. As you hold the Shambhavi Mudra, Sankumbhaka Mula Bandha Japa Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Visualize yourself as a pearl born from the womb of an oyster.
सुप्त्यासना पार्श्वे नाभौ संस्थाप्य जङ्गबहिर्प्रदेशेन सम्मिल्लयेत् सुप्त्यासनं भवति।
Next, we move on to Sthirasana, steady pose. Sit cross-legged, placing the instep of the right foot beneath your left toes and the instep of the left beneath the right toes. Hands resting lightly at the belly or knees as you interlace your fingers at the belly, holding the Parashamudra, Samakumbhaka, without actually inhaling or exhaling, holding the prana in the navel center. Clench your perineum in Mula Bandha, chant the japa Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham, and be in the space of oneness with the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, dissolving all boundaries.
पदने धरे दाबा पदनी आंगनी नीचे राखी ने अन्य दाबा पदने धरे पदनी नंगनी चे राखी ने बेसवम अर्थात पलोती बाली के बेसवम के गीतासना तो वाली चे।
Now we move on to Abhujasana. So bring the right foot to your left thigh and left foot to the right thigh. As you move on to Padmasana and place the palms on the respective knees, holding the Shambhavi Mudra, Samakumbhaka, Udhyana Bandha by contracting, by drawing the abdomen inward and up. Visualize yourself born of water like a lotus emerging from the mud.
अभुजासना अपानम् उद्धाप्य शनैः स्वस्तितीति प्राणं समाकृष्य च कुम्भकं चरेत् धृत्वा यथाशक्त्या अनुरेचयेत् शनैः वायौ गदाग्निं स्मृतम् अभुजासनम्।
From this position, slowly fold forward as you extend the arms in front of you and bring the forehead to the floor in Kamalasana. Fully bloomed lotus pose. Visualize yourself as the fully bloomed lotus, radiant and pure, embodying Kamala. Here we will be holding the Shambhavi Mudra, eyes open, steady gaze, and Kaka Chanchu Kumbhaka. Curl the tongue inward within the mouth, then extend it slightly outward to form a small passage for inhalation, resembling the beak of a crow. Inhale through the opening and retain the breath after drawing it in, as you hold the Uddiyana Bandha by drawing the abdomen inward and up, and maintain the Mula Bandha also, and chant the japa Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
कमलासना तत्र कौलासनं कृत्वा अथवा कमलासनं महाविद्यं महामन्त्रं चत्वालिङ्गमवाप्नुयात्।
Continue to remain in the same position as we move on to Uttamangasana. In Supreme Limb Pose, as you hold the Shambhavi Mudra, Kakachancha Kumbhaka, this time instead of Uddiyana Bandha, you will holding the Mula Bandha, Japa Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Visualize yourself as rare and powerful.
उत्तमाङ्गासना स्थित्वैतद्दासने मन्त्रे अधशीर्षं करोति चेत् उत्तमाङ्गासनं ज्ञेयं योगिनामतिदुर्लभम्। एतत् आसनमात्रेण शरीरं शिथिलं भवेत् पुनः प्रसादेन चैतन्यकुण्डली भवेत्।
Now slowly come up as we move on to Padmasana Pancha, the lotus pose 5. So remaining in Padmasana, bring your hands on top, interlacing the fingers as you turn towards your left, looking down towards your armpit. In lotus pose 5, here we are holding the Shambhavi Mudra, Kakachancha Kumbhaka, curling the tongue and inhaling through the passage formed with the tongue. Hold the Uddiyana Bandha, Japa Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Visualize Lord Shiva blessing you, enveloping your being in profound peace, clarity and stillness.
Padmasana Pancha. उपविश्यासने सम्यक् बाहु कृत्वार्धकुञ्चितौ कक्षभ्यो निमनः कुर्वन् समम् आयति तल्लयात्.
Remaining in Padmasana, we move on to Kulyasana. This time bring the left hand onto the forehead and the right hand behind your head. Visualize a river of Shakti, conscious energy streaming into you through the Sahasrara Chakra.
कुल्यासना. अथ कुल्यासनं वक्ष्ये यत् कृत्वा कौलिको भवेत्. एकहस्तमस्तकस्थो अधशीर्षे अभिन्नगेकरम्.
Now we move on to Divyasana. This time remaining in Padmasana, you will place the left hand on the belly as you bring the right arm around your back. Hold on to the left elbow and slowly lean forward, bringing the forehead to the floor.
दिव्यासना. अथ दिव्यासनं वक्ष्ये पृष्ठं हस्तेन भञ्जिता. एकहस्तम् अध्यदेशं भूमिहस्तं च नासया.
Now slowly come up as you move on to Padmasana Pancha, repeated on the other side. Lotus pose 5, this time placing your hands on top of your head, interlacing the fingers in Parashamudra. Look towards your armpit. As you hold the Kakachancha Kumbhaka, curling the tongue inward within the mouth, then extend it slightly outward to form a small passage for inhalation. Hold the Uddiyana Bandha by drawing the abdomen inward and up. Visualize Lord Shiva blessing you, enveloping your being in profound peace.
स्थित्वैतदासने मन्त्री अरशीर्षं करोति चेत् उत्तमाङ्गासनं ज्ञेयं योगिनं मति दुर्लभम्. एतद् आसनमात्रेण शरीरं शिथिलं भवेत्. पुनः पुनः प्रसादेन चैतन्यकुण्डली भवेत्.
Next is Kulyasana, this time bringing the right hand to the forehead and left hand behind your head.
कुल्यासना. अथ कुल्यासनं वक्ष्ये यत् कृत्वा कौलिको भवेत्. एकहस्तमस्तकस्थो अधशीर्षे अभिन्नगेकरम्.
Next, we move on to Divyasana. Place the right hand on the belly, left hand wrapped around to hold on to the right elbow as you slowly lean forward and bring your forehead to the floor.
दिव्यासना. अथ दिव्यासनं वक्ष्ये पृष्ठं हस्तेन भञ्जता. एकहस्तम् अध्यदेशं भूमिहस्तं च नासया.
Now slowly come up. As you continue to remain in Padmasana, interlace the fingers in front of your belly. With full awareness, draw the breath upward through the abdomen into the stillness. Hold steady in Kumbhaka according to the capacity. Gaze down, gaze drawn inward, spine upright. Holding the Parashamudra with your hands interlacing the fingers, Kakachancha Kumbhaka, inhaling through the passage of the tongue, and Mula Bandha Japa Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
पवनासना. अथान्यदासनं वक्ष्ये साधकानां हिताय मे. पवनासनरूपो केशरो योगिराघवे. स्थित्वा भद्रासने धीरो नाभेरदः करद्वयम्. ऊर्ध्वमुदीर्येत् वायुं निरुध्येत् यमाविलेत्.
Next, we move on to Valgulyasana. So, being in Padmasana, bring your arms inside as you lift your legs up and bring the palms underneath your chin. In the bat pose, holding the Shambhavi Mudra, Ujjayi Kumbhaka slightly contract. As a bat in full flight, wings stretched wide on elongated fingers, light and agile.
Valgulyasana. अथ भूरिमुत्यासपाचिदं साध्योजनामसूननो वल्गुल्यासनं कृत्वा समं च राजीसे तदा कृत्वा वंशनोर्भोर् अध्योरन स्वतप्राकरूपरीको विधाय.
Continuing to remain in the same position, we move on to Parasharama Asana Dve. With the legs in Padmasana, arms underneath, raising your legs up and bringing the hands to the chin in axe wielding sage pose. Holding Shambhavi Mudra Ujjayi Kumbhaka, Udhyana Bandha by drawing the abdomen inward and up. Visualize Lord Rama in your inner space, radiant and serene, embodying dharma, courage, and unwavering devotion.
परशुरामासना द्वे प्रथमस्तरे पद्मासन आचे सूर्धोतो वे भूपरिपाचे गोदा उदंगयेदो भूतो लगतारासे राके सोमु दोहु हाथ समस्त दिशा धारे अभूतो लगता पसारे सूरी जुवामस्त जासो दक्षिण हतेरी पिंजित.
Next, we move on to Yogini Garbhasana. Remaining in the same position, now we are going to roll on the ground. Cross your arms in front of you and hold on to the opposite end as you balance on your sitting bones with the spine elongated. As you roll on the ground, remaining in the same position. Holding the Shambhavi Mudra, Kevala Kumbhaka, allowing the breath to pass naturally, Mula Bandha, and Japa is Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
योगिनी गर्भासना योगिनी गर्भासने विश्वास सत्यं गर्भं आविशेत्.
Next is Simhasana Dve, lion pose 2, sitting in Padmasana. Place the palms flat on the ground before you, press the hips down, lift through the chest, extend the neck upward and open the mouth wide, stretching the tongue outward fully. Holding the Shambhavi Mudra, Ujjayi Kumbhaka, contracting the throat and draw the breath in slowly through the nostrils, producing the sound of the ocean. Mula Bandha Japa Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Embody the space and state of a lion, alert, powerful, and courageous.
सिंहासनाद्वे गुल्भोजकुसुमस्यादः शिवन्या पार्श्वयोचिते दक्षिणे सव्यगुल्भं तु दक्षगुल्भं तु सव्यते.
Now slowly come back to the seated position in Padmasana as we move on to Urdhva Kukutasana, upward rooster pose. This time, placing both palms in front of you on the floor as you lift your weight up and support your legs on the back of your arms. As you visualize yourself as a rooster, one leg slightly impaired, yet vigilant. As you hold the Ujjayi Kumbhaka, making the sound of the ocean with your breath, chant the japa Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
ऊर्ध्व कुक्कुटासना प्रथमस्तरे पद्मासन आचे सूर्धोर्ध्वे भूपरिपाचे गोदा उदंगयेदो भूतो लगतारासे सोम.
Next, we move on to Padmasana Sat, the lotus posture 6. Sitting in Padmasana, cross your arms behind you as you hold on to the respective toes. As you visualize yourself as a lotus flower, rooted yet rising above the water, pure and radiant. In Prana Mudra, with the middle and index fingers stand near each other, holding on to the toes. Ujjayi Kumbhaka, making the sound of the ocean with your breath. Jalandhara Bandha by tucking the chin to the chest and chant the japa Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
अथ पद्मासनम् अवामरूपरि दक्षं चरणं संस्थाप्य वामं तथा दक्षरूपरि पश्चिमेन विघ्नेना कृत्वा कराभ्यां धृतम् अङ्गुष्ठौ हृदये विधाय चिबुकं नासाग्रम् अलोकयेत्।
Next, we move on to Padmasana Sapta. Remaining in Padmasana, bringing your elbows together in front of your chest and place the palms underneath your chin, holding the Ujjayi Kumbhaka with your breath, Moola Bandha, Japa Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Visualize yourself as Paramashiva, transcending worldly society, detached and self-contained.
पद्मासन सप्त पद्मासनस्था योगी जनसंगविवर्जिता विज्ञानादिद्वैतम् अङ्गुलिभ्यां निरोधयेत्।
Now we are going to move on to Urdhva Padmasana. Now lay back on the floor as you lift your legs, lift your knees off the ground. Remain in Padmasana. Lay on the mat. So you can either lay on your back, lift your legs, and then fold on to Padmasana, fold into Padmasana, or remain in Padmasana and lift your hip up. Whichever is easier for you, you can do that way. As you straighten your legs, then fold into Padmasana and bring your knees up vertically above your hip. Right now the knees are folded. Try to bring the knees above the hips vertically. As you hold the Shambhavi Mudra, Murcha Kumbhaka, inhaling deeply through the nose, then lock the chin to the chest in Jalandhara Bandha. Hold the breath and then slowly exhale as you hold the Jalandhara Bandha Japa Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Visualize yourself as an inverted lotus flower suspended and balanced, roots upward, crown grounded.
ऊर्ध्व पद्मासना प्रथम अर्ध पद्मासनानि तेभि बेसिपासि सुमाधु भूमि पर राखी केदने बन्ने हाथन आधरादि उंची करीते पलोति अधर उपदि राखवीते ऊर्ध्व पद्मासन कहे वायते।
Now, slowly relax the Padmasana onto the floor. As you bring your palms together in Namaskara Mudra above your head on the floor. Hold the Mahamudra Bandha by tucking the chin to the chest, drawing the abdomen inward and up, and clench the muscles of the perineum in Moola Bandha. Visualize yourself as a mountain deeply rooted, stable for thousands of years.
पर्वतास्माद्वे अथवक्षेपमादेवा पर्वतासनमङ्गलम् यत्कृत्वा सिद्धरूपी स्यात् क्षत्रादिविलोपनम्।
Now bring your hands to hold on to the toes as we move on to Matsyasana Pancha.
मुक्तपद्मासनं कृत्वा उत्तानं शैलं चरेत् भूपराभ्यां शिरो वेश्या मत्स्यासनं तु रोगः।
Here in this asana, you'll actually bring the crown of the head and on the floor as well as the elbows as you raise the chest, holding onto the toes. In Matsyasana Pancha, holding the Kevala Kumbhaka, allowing the breath to pass naturally, Udhyana Bandha drawing the abdomen inward and up, as you chant the japa, Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Now slowly come up to a standing position as we move on to Shenahasana, hawk pose. Stand grounded on your right foot, and cross your left leg over top of the right. Then lock your left foot behind your right calf. Cross your arms, keeping your right elbow above the left. Twist your hands back to the center and bring the palms together at the forehead level. Holding the Anjali Mudra with your hands, Samavritti, inhaling through the nose and exhale evenly. Mula Bandha, clenching the perineum, chanting the japa Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Visualize yourself as a majestic hawk, Sena, Shayana.
येनासना कुटिपादं पादाङ्गुष्ठं भूमौ निधाय भुजद्वयेन वेष्टयित्वा कायं सुमत्तापयेत्.
Now we move on to Agochara Asana, beyond perception pose. Start on your knees with the spine tall, core engaged, rise up onto your toes. Cross one leg over the other, keep the feet near the opposite side. Maintain balance with legs crossed, knees off the ground. Standing on your toes with sitting bones on the raised heels. Hold the Shambhavi Mudra. Samavritti, Mula Bandha, Japa Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Visualize perception gradually falling silent and attention turns inwards.
Adha Agocharaasana.
Now slowly come up to a standing position as we repeat the Shenahasana half pose progression. So start seated, standing actually, cross your left leg above the right, feet to the side of the hip, similar to the Gomukhasana. Keep your toes tucked, knees on the ground, cross your arms, keeping your right above the left. Sorry, actually you'll remain seated in Gomukhasana, placing the right knee below and the left knee below and the right knee on top. And cross your arms as we did in Shenahasana as we move on to the Shenahasana Uttaranga. Holding the Anjali Mudra with your hands, Samavritti, inhaling through the nose and exhaling evenly, Mula Bandha and Japa Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Visualizing yourself as a majestic hawk.
येनहासना उत्तराङ्गा कुटिपादं पादाङ्गुष्ठं भूमौ निधाय भुजद्वयेन वेष्टयित्वा कायं समुत्थापयेत्.
Now we are going to repeat the Agochara Asana Parshvantre. Start on your knees with the spine tall, core engaged, rise up onto your toes. Cross one leg over the other, keeping the feet near the opposite side's hip. Maintain balance with cross-legged, knees off the ground. Standing on your toes with sitting bones on your raised heels. Hold the Shambhavi Mudra. Samavritti, Mula Bandha, Japa Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
Agocharaasana. Adha Agocharaasana.
Now we are moving on to Shenahasana Uttaranga, repeated on the other side. This time bring the right knee below, left knee on top and wrap your arms around. And bring to the Namaskara Mudra as you visualize yourself as a majestic hawk. Clench your perineum in Mula Bandha as you chant the Japa Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
हस्तपादौ परस्परं नीत्वा देहमुन्नाम् उन्नम्यतिष्ठेत् अन्येन पक्षेन तद्वत् निददेशकुम्भकं साधयेत्.
Now we move on to Shenahasana Parshvantre. So come to a standing position. This time resting your weight on the left leg, wrap the right leg around. So whichever leg you did the previous time, please do the opposite leg. as you bring your hands, just wrapping your hands around and bringing into Namaskara Mudra in front of your face.
हस्तपादौ परस्परं भूत्वा देवमुन्नानि तिष्ठेत् अन्येन पक्षेण तद्वत् निर्देशकुम्भकं साधयेत्.
Now slowly lay down on the mat, extend your legs, extend your arms by your side, palms facing up, gently relaxing as we move on to the last asana of the sequence. Savasana, Shavasana Dve, Corpse Pose 2. Lay flat on the back with the legs stretched, arms soft by your sides, palm open to the sky. Let the breath ease into its own rhythm. Hold the Shakti Chalana Mudra. Focus on the Muladhara. Contract the perineum to rouse the dormant Kundalini. Forcefully draw the Apana Vayu upward with intent, holding the energy and intention firmly inward. Hold the Sahaja Kumbhaka, inhaling deeply through the nose. Hold the breath comfortably. Clench your perineum in Mula Bandha. Chant the Japa Om Nithyananda Parameshavoham. Visualize your body as dead, lifeless, while the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism liberates your soul.
शवासनत्वे उत्तानमूर्ध्वा शयनं निधाय प्रसार्य पादौ करसम्पुटं हृदि नासाग्रे आधाय परं शिवं पृष्ठोति यन्त्रशवासनं हि तत् शवासनं हृत्कुपि प्रवादग्रन्थिविभेदकं सर्वसनश्रान्तिजित् हतश्रमं योगि सौख्यदम्.
Now slowly wiggle your toes, your fingers. Lightly bend your knees, bring them to your chest. Hug your knees as you gently rock side to side. Slowly roll over to one side and come up to a seated position. Congratulations! Every one of you have successfully completed 100 asanas today in the Titiya Vinyasa Krama Series 2. I hope all of you enjoyed the Nithyananda Yoga asanas along with us. If you'd like to get a deeper experience, please come join us in Paramashivasena, a 30-day program which is offered in Kailasa, Guinea-Bissau, and Kailasas in Bharat, in Tiruvannamalai, and in Bengaluru. It's a 30-day program that happens every month. The next program starts on September 1st. You can register for this program by going to ecitizen.info/PSS, and this program is offered free of cost. So all you need to do is just fly and come over. I hope to see you all there. Now let us close the session by chanting the Purna Mantra. Please bring your hand in Namaskara Mudra as we chant Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tatsat. Sarvam Bhagavat Shri Nithyananda Paramashiva Padukarpanamastu. Om Nithyanandam. Thank you, everyone. Please turn towards Swamiji as you offer our gratitude. We'll see you all again tomorrow for the Nithyananda Yoga. Thank you, Nithyanandam.